Well, it's great to be back in here, and obviously we're in a short week, so we had a Tuesday's practice already today. We completed that, and it seems like the week's rolling. We're playing Florida State here on Friday night, big challenge. Florida State has got a lot of great players on their roster. Obviously, they had a tough blow this year, losing their quarterback, Francois, but you can see that there's so many talented players on their roster right now. The young freshman Blackman is getting better each week. They've got two strong running backs. Their tight end Izzo's got a lot of experience. Their wide receivers, starting with Tate, I think is a phenomenal player, 6'5", 225-pound target. On defense, I mean, this was a team that was predicted to be a national championship caliber team early in the year. You can see why. On defense, they're extremely talented. Key players, Derwin James, Brian Burns, Tavares McFadden, very names that we're all very familiar with. When you watch them on defense, nobody can really run the ball against them. They're stout, they're athletic. This is a well-coached team. I think, without a doubt, obviously Jimbo Fisher's one of the best coaches in the country. His staff, unbelievable job of coaching. They've got a really good offensive line. Rick Trickett's the line coach there, does a fabulous job. This is a talented football team and a hungry football team. And it'll be a great challenge for us. And, we're looking forward to that challenge here at home. Obviously, our hope is that we'll have a big crowd here, and it'll be a really exciting, loud night here in Chestnut Hill. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Steve, what's the level of confidence right now coming off those two road wins?
Well, I think there's no doubt that as you come off of those wins, and you bear a little fruit, and young players are gaining confidence. You're talking about, let's start on offense. Anthony Brown, is I think leading the country as a freshman in passing yards and touchdown throws. I think A.J. Dillon as a freshman is fourth as true freshman in the country in rushing. You talk about Kobe White, A.J., and Anthony at the apex of the offense and at the receiver. They're considered elite in their class in the country right now, and I think that's exciting. We've scored, 40 points for the back-to-back games. First time they've ever done that in the history of Boston College in either conference, Big East or ACC, and first time in ACC since we've been in, we've had two back-to-back over 500 yards of offense. So I think that helps you and it builds confidence. On defense, I think Kevin Bletzer and John Lamont are building confidence every day at linebacker, and we continue to play at a high level their defensive front. I think our back end's playing. So yes, we're gaining a little bit of confidence. I think we're gelling a little bit here, but I also understand the tremendous challenge of what I believe this defense of Florida State's to be. I think they're outstanding. I haven't seen, of all the tape I'm watching, I'm not really seeing anybody run the ball effectively on them. So having said everything I just said in a positive fashion, and I think it is positive, it's very positive, about our young players, about confidence, about momentum. But having said that, we've got one of the very elite teams in our conference coming into our stadium.
Let's talk about Anthony a little bit. I mean, what he did against Virginia, to be successful in the ACC, he's got to do that every week.
Right.
Just do it here and there.
Right.
Is he kind of aware that he can capable of this and continue it on?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm phrasing that well as a question.
I know. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Yes. I mean, you're right. This is a tough league, and he's got to do it week to week. But he's shown us all along the line of signals of him having these kinds of performances. The bottom line is he's settling in. Okay. The center's settling in, he's settling in, AJ's settling in. All those guys are starting to settle in a little bit. Does that mean that roller coaster rides are over? He's a freshman, redshirt freshman, true freshman. These guys. I mean, think about what's ahead with them. You're talking about 3 and 4, three years with these guys of nothing but growth. But for me to sit here and tell you that young players won't ride the roller coaster a little bit. They're young players for a reason, and they're going to make some great plays, and then they're going to do some things. You're going to shake your head a little bit, And that's going to continue to happen. And that's part of the maturation process. But you'd want to see more good along the way and more consistency, and I think we've seen that. You know, Anthony's had a rough go. I mean, considering the shakeup we had up front and then the injuries that he's had, and he's still managed all of that. I give him a lot of credit, and we're really excited about his future as he rolls forward. And this will be another challenge, because this is an elite defense in our conference.
Coach, talk about the tight end play. It seems like they've really emerged the last 2 weeks on offense.
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate. I think they're starting to really put their foot in the ground and get vertical and really making plays, which is what we had envisioned. At the beginning of the year, we're a 12 personnel team, sometimes 13. They're on the field a lot, and they've got to factor into the offense and the throw game as well as the blocking game, and that's what they're doing right now, and I think that's really great. So we're blossoming a little bit there.
I don't know why that wasn't there earlier. Now it's merged. Was there a thing that triggered it? It just seems like a totally different unit.
Just cohesiveness, growth, development, comfort level. I think it's all the above. I just think we've played some really good football teams, and I think we're really emerging. I mean, Tommy's playing his best. He's the oldest. Christian Garrison missed a whole year last year. Had a really horrific injury. And then Ray Martin and Korab Adrizzi. Korab's been hurt the last couple of weeks, but Ray Martin and Korab are still young players that are also developing. I mean, they're second-year players. They didn't redshirt. Now they're it's starting to happen for them. So collectively, as Jake Burt missed the whole year last year. He's been out with mono for the last few weeks, but he's coming back. So I mean, I just think it's a little of that stuff. Cohesion, starting to get a little bit more cohesion with Christian and with Tommy and Ray, and now we got to get Jake geared back in, and then hopefully along the line here, whether it's this week or after the bye week, we got to get Korab back in the flow of things. And we've stayed, we're pretty lucky when those guys have been down. The other guys have stayed healthy, So I just think that with the maturation of the center and the offensive line, and then of course the maturation of the quarterback, it's kind of all together. We fired a little bit more on all cylinders last week. And we certainly saw glimpses of it the week before. But for me to say there wasn't glimpses, I mean, there was against Virginia Tech. We dropped a touchdown ball. We dropped the ball into one. So it's coming.
Coach, too. Also, it seemed like you did really well getting yourself in good third down situations and then converting them last Saturday. Mm-hmm. Just talk about that third down.
Yeah, we did a good job. Anthony did a good job. He made a couple of conversions with his feet. Made some with his arm. I missed football today, and he's doing a good job with that. And I think we've taken some third and mediums, third and shorts, and threw the ball on him a little bit, which has been good. They were really heavily playing our run game last week, and so that opened up some other opportunities. We still hammered away a little bit at the run game, but we were able to make some plays in the throw game. So that's what we have to do. Jeff made a huge catch. Kobe made a couple of big catches. Mike Walker made them, and then we hit him in the perimeter with Thad and with a slip screen with Kobe. So we spread the ball around pretty good, and we'd like to continue to do that. And that'll be the plan. Of course, we're playing against an elite secondary and an elite front. I mean, like I said, this team is gonna try you and in every way. And we've got to be able to have some balance against this outfit. There's no doubt about that.
You talked about, my last question, you talked about the Florida State defense. A.J. Dillon is doing really well, but getting a lot of hits. Just talk about the rotation with the running backs and with Florida State coming in, how we're going to balance that with Hillman, Dillon, and the other running backs.
I think we've balanced it well. I mean, people ask me a lot of times a lot of questions. I think John Hillman's playing his best football right now and making a lot of plays. I mean, he's making critical third down catches. He's doing a lot for us. And AJ, so both those guys are taking the load. And Travis Levy's getting, starting to get a fair amount of snaps. And like you said, we need them all. And I mean, you're gonna run that tailback. I mean, they're gonna take shots. That's why you got to have some depth. I mean, to go through this league and think that you're going to go unscathed, that's a difficult thing. But we've got some depth. Guys are playing well. They're unselfish. and complementing each other, I think, really well. We're not letting one guy get so gassed that he can't function, and trying to play to all their strengths right now. And so far, that's been pretty good. I thought we did a good job of letting AJ mature. You know, we didn't just, we did that over time throughout the season. But I think all along the way, John Hillman's been playing a really high level of football. And I like the emergence of Travis Levy as well. I mean, he's had some critical plays for us. So that position's been good to us, and it's going to need to be. We still got a lot of football left to play. We're going into week 9, and we have not had a bye week, and we're on a short week. So depth at that position is a good thing for us right now. You know, so we're not like in practice. We don't have to beat the dog out of one running back in practice like this. It's hard to do that. You know, hey, carry the ball 25, 30 times in a game, and then let's come back out after Saturday on a Monday and go do it. You know, that won't work out well. So we're lucky there right now. I say lucky because you don't know what's around the corner tomorrow.
Florida State, they're a wounded team, but they're still Florida State. Do you kind of have to balance that in the locker room, making sure the guys still believe this team is still they are?
It's really easy, honestly, Julian. When you put the tape on, like you know, I don't look ahead. So like I'm focused and watching. All of a sudden, I came in Sunday, which is yesterday. I flick on that tape, and honestly, like I went like, ugh. I mean, I start, as I tell you guys every week, I start on defense early in the week, right? Watching them on defense. I mean, so no, our players, they put the tape on and they know what they see, you know? It's like I'm just starting to, before I came in here, I actually was starting to look at them on offense, and I watched their offensive line. So, like you said, they're still Florida State now. But like a lot of teams, doesn't matter who you are, top to bottom, you lose your starting quarterback and you put a freshman quarterback in the game, there's a transition period with that. You know, and again, does everybody really realize that? I don't know that, but that's not the same. I mean, they had a guy that they played as a freshman a year ago who was a freaky talent, and all of a sudden, bam! And now they're in it trying to develop another young guy. And along the way, you know those young, just like we have a young guy, they got a young guy, and you know, all of a sudden they start emerging. But around the surrounding talent, it's really good. It's really good. Really good. Really good.
I mean, you mentioned after the game, obviously the defense is still thin, but how's that holding up? How's everybody doing? And how do you navigate that?
You know, luck. We're thin. We still have to practice at a physical high level because you got some inexperienced guys that need every real rep, and you're just hanging on saying, please stay healthy, be honest with you, okay? And, you know, we took a hit with Harold, and he's not healthy right now. But Wyatt Ray stepped up and is playing really well. Zach's playing really well. Ray Smith, Noah Merritt, they're all playing really, really well, and the young linebackers are getting better. But you see us at the end of the game, we're tired. We start missing tackles towards the ends of the games. And it's not hard to see it. It's fatigue. And we're paper thin. We're in a foot race trying to develop Isaiah McDuffie and Davon interiorly at those linebacker positions, right? And each week, just because, you know, you're just a play away from one of those guys being in that game now. And to Davon's credit, he's been really unselfish, you know. He's not getting a lot of reps because he's kind of learning and training there. And Isaiah's not getting a lot of reps as a true freshman, and he's playing on some special teams and played a few reps, but he's got unbelievable talent. And we just got to get him more comfortable within the system of the defense because we're trying on the run to build the depth, but we're playing such a tough schedule that you don't get many opportunities to get him in. You know, like last week, we got him in. At the end of the game, those guys played some valuable, valuable snaps. So I hope we can stay healthy down the end run here right now. It is. Absolutely. For a lot of reasons. One, injuries. Two, you still have, you know, young guys playing at critical positions, and they can fluctuate. They have to learn how to handle and maintain the intensity of a full football season and a heavy academic load. Those are all things that are yet to completely play out right now. But I think we're playing well right now. I think we're getting better. I think we have some good momentum. But like anything else, if you don't stay on top of it and you know, you're not locked in, things can change on a dime on you. You know, whereas when you have a more depth and more veteran team, you know, you probably have less risk of that fluctuating on you a little bit.
How important has it been early? Like, there was points in the beginning of the season where I could drop or something in the first quarter, during the momentum.
Yeah.
Change the game. Obviously, that hasn't happened.
Yep.
Heard on third down.
Right.
Field goal, got a drive. How important is that? Have you seen certain things that drops that you feel like kind of
Just, you know, I think we've worked really hard in practice at competitive snaps, which is, to use your words, delicate because you're thin. But we've stayed in practice with competitive snaps, and I think that's helped us. And so hopefully we can maintain that, because I agree, I think that's critically important that you're able to pick up some momentum early, you know, and not playing from behind. You know, it's harder. It's much harder. And I think, you know, last week especially, we were able to jump out there and make some really good competitive plays early, and that was something we really hadn't done, and we did, and that was another step, you know, and hopefully we can maintain that. But the yards are going to come much more difficultly on Friday night now. They just are. I mean, you know, this is going to be one of those games where, you know, you're going to be clawing for every bit of real estate you can get, and you're going to get a very small number of opportunities, and when you get them, you better capitalize on them. It's going to be one of those kind of games. And, you know, everybody's got to prepare for a mindset that when you play against this level of talent on the defensive side of the ball, you know, you got to grind, you got to be patient, and you got to capitalize.